Hello, good afternoon. How's everybody doing? We are so glad that you are with us on today. This is Bridging the Nations. Let me give you this really quick. Hold on, my this is when you know that what you're going to be speaking about is good because my computer battery, my computer just told me, girl, you finna lose all your battery life. Hold on, y'all.
Hey, y'all, we so excited. Hey, while she is getting her battery life back, do us a favor and share this broadcast. Share this broadcast. Let's get this out. Let's get some people in the room and tell us hello and where you're tuning in from because we love to talk to you.
Absolutely. So we are back. Yeah. We are back. So we're going to have you to get your pen, get your paper. We're going to just slow it down on today. I have my readers on. We got our pads of paper. We got all these essential things, headphones if we need them, a pen. We got all of that. And so today so Lady Queen I am, and I know y'all probably saying, hey, where's our king at? Let me tell you, we gave a thumbs up to our king of our tribe in this triad. Listen, go take a vacay. Go on a holiday. Spend time with your family because that's extremely important. Yes. So that's where our brother Anthony is. He's having fun in the sun. He's doing such a great job with his family, and we are very proud of him. So we told him, don't even look at the video while you are on vacay or holiday because family and quality time with your family is very important. And so that's that. So here's our intro song today. As you are getting your pads and paper together, we are very excited for you to be here today. We are talking about having a spirit of gratitude. Right, Lady Queen?
Right, exactly. Having a spirit of gratitude. I'm so excited. I'm so ready.
So we're going to give y'all about 2 minutes so that you can tag your friend, tag your spouse, let people know that we are on here. Hey, Carrie Crosby. Hey, beautiful. I done did my thing the wrong way. Okay, here we go. So today we kind of just slowing it down a little bit. So think about, as you come on tonight, what are some of the things that you are very grateful for? What is 5 things? That's your assignment before we come on. 5 things that you are very grateful for. There's so much. There's a whole lot of things that we can be grateful for, y'all. A whole lot. So we just want to say good evening, Tina. Thank you for joining us, beloved. Now, this was a song, I tell you. You get into this one, you be all up like this.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing too. I'm swaying.
Because this one right here, this one will witness to your spirit. This will witness to your spirit. Listen, everybody has a spirit that dwells within them, right?
Yes, definitely.
All right. So we're going to mute that one. Matter of fact, let's get this part in here. Hold on. You know, this is the part everybody like. Hold on. It's flowing from our heart. I hope this is the part where they go up. Are the issues. Come on, y'all. I know y'all can sing it. It's gratefulness. Y'all got 30 seconds.
30 seconds to share this video.
Hey, Drew Nikki Lee.
Hey. I'm trying to take us there early.
Come on in the house today. Thank you, Tina, for sharing it already.
Thank you, sis.
Brother Senegal.
Hey, Mom.
Yes. Thank you, Carrie. I see yours already. You ready?
Thank you, sis.
10 seconds. Just think about the greatness of God. Think about the greatness of God and how grateful we are.
Yeah.
Listen. Did you see that? Y'all hear that when they went up like that? Woo!
Come on, sis.
They say, oh, I feel this thing now.
Yes, my God.
It's flowing. Come on.
God is so good. I'm so grateful.
Come on. Absolutely. We are so grateful. We are grateful.
Yes,
So, good evening again. We are so grateful that you have joined us on today. Today is a magnificent day. And so, as you get your pen and your piece of paper, here we go.
Here we go.
So, y'all, we back. We are so back. So, today it's Lady Queen I Am and myself, Antoinette Marie Speaks. And today we are talking about being grateful, having a spirit of gratitude. That's what we're talking about today. And one of the things that we wanted to do was, for those of you that have just joined in with us, we know that you probably see our king in this triad. He's not here today, and it's because he is self-caring right now. He is with his family, and that is so important. They're gone on holiday, and we are so delighted that he is able to do that. So we're talking about gratitude and being grateful. We are grateful that he has the capability of doing such a thing. And so that we wanted to let you know. So share this video to everybody. It's going to be an exceptional night. And we're not even going to be with you that long, but we do want you to come on in this room with us. That's what we want you to do. Come on in this room. So, Lady Queen.
Yes, ma'am. As Sister Queen said, we're just excited that each and every one of you are coming in here. And then we ask, that you share this video, because this is going to be an amazing evening. Like, this is something that you just don't want to hold to yourself, but you want to begin to share the knowledge that you're learning and share it with other people, so we can all live the best life that we're intended to live. And I think this is a great subject, because sometimes we forget, not intentionally, so I think it's a great subject that we're going over.
Absolutely. And so one of the things I want to do is, on today, let's talk a little bit about, like, what is being grateful, like having a spirit of gratitude. And a lot of times you hear a lot of people talk about having a spirit of gratitude and what does that mean? And I think I've even heard, hey, Pamela, thank you for joining us today. I think I've even heard so many people talk about, having gratitude journals, which I really, really do believe in, having a gratitude journal. I'm going to talk a little bit about that as we kind of go in on this. But I want to tell you what being grateful is and having a spirit of gratitude actually is. Okay. So I'm just getting it straight from the Webster, right? So having a spirit of gratitude is having the quality of being thankful and the readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness to someone else. You can that right there.
That's breaking bread, sis, as our brothers say.
That is some breaking bread right there. So let me say it again for the people that's in the back. Y'all came in on the back. Y'all way in the back pew because y'all had your finger up and you didn't want nobody to know y'all came in late. So this is what it is. Gratitude is having the quality of being thankful and the readiness to show appreciation for and to being able to return kindness. Hey, Elkie, that is something else. And so as we go through tonight, we want you to post 5 things minimally. Think about it. 5 things that you're grateful for. So one of the things that we have said today, when you post things that you're grateful for, don't necessarily say I'm grateful for my car. That's fine, but don't post. We want you to dig in deeper. We want you to dig in a little bit deeper, right? Because we know that when we get activated with something, it comes from the inside out, right? So we do internal work that then also vibrates or radiates externally. And so one of the things I just want to kind of speak a little bit about as we kind of get into this, and one of the things that's so great about Bridging the Nations and our triad, and today we are a duo. We cute. We are so cute. Listen, y'all, I had a wash day today. And anyway, I'm not even gonna get into it because y'all know how that goes. And so one of the things about having a spirit of gratitude, there's so many things in our lives that sometimes just go awry, and we can speak so candidly about things that are negative. And it's very interesting that I believe whatever a person thinks on heavily, continuously, that is who he or she becomes, and the attitude that they begin to have. And so one of the things that I do is that I journal. I should have actually brought all of my journals. I've been journaling at least 20 years. And one day I looked at all the journals that I had, and I was looking, I said, what am I going to do with all of these? Because, when you do gratitude journals, you have a lot of stuff in there. And sometimes you find yourself being, putting things about being grateful and in gratitude. And then you find yourself on the other side saying, God help me. And you have to bring yourself back, right? And so the first thing that I do is whenever I start to journal is that I inhale and I exhale for 3 times. And that kind of helps me to clear my mind of what has already happened the entire day, right? And so being able to journal at night really helps me calm my spirit down. It gets rid of the hyperactive brain that I have sometimes of all of this going on. So it gets your mind to relax. Journaling, and we know that breathing also helps with, sadness and depression and those types of things. So I challenge you to be able to start to journal at night. Turn the television off if you have a television in your bedroom, but start to journal and just write down 5 things throughout the day that you're grateful for, right? That you were grateful for. And then I also challenge you to, in the morning, to do the same thing. Let me tell you what probably will happen. When you have to gratitude journal in the morning, You are very particular throughout your entire day of being negative. I'm not telling you something that I read, I'm telling you something that I know. You will pay very close attention because you want to look at things and say, I know I got that one tonight. I can talk about being grateful about this or being grateful about that. So when you journal, think on what you have, the greatness that has happened in your life, right? And then, journaling also increases your energy, because you're ready. You're like, okay, what can I do? How can I serve people? How can I help someone? How can I bless somebody on today? Just being able to be grateful, right? And then also, I heard somebody say, this was a mom. She was saying that she had went um, into the hospital to have her baby, and she ended up contracting a bacteria infection in the hospital. And she had delivered her baby, cesarean actually, and they ended up, I don't know if it was bad um, utensils or whatever they are. Long story, they had to amputate her hands and her feet. Okay. She had just had a baby. This is what this lady said to her husband. She said, listen, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. I need to get home to my other children. So when I hear and I think about that story, I said, what am I ungrateful about? What do I have to be really ungrateful about? We got to start thinking about that, right? We got to start thinking like, I know some people are having a real hard time with everything that's going on. But instead of thinking about, you remember that story, Elkie? Good. Instead of thinking about all the negative, the what ifs, how am I going to do it, when it's going to happen, stop focusing on that, right? Every single day you get up, read something spiritual, read something godly, read your Bible when you wake up in the morning, right? So for me, that sets an atmosphere for my entire day. So I know many times I will probably read the book of Proverbs, the book of Psalms. You can pick whichever one you want. But I'm edifying what's happening, what I want to see. I want to see something great. I want to see everybody in my tribe win. So some of the things that I'm focusing on, and when I'm having that spirit of gratitude, is how can I help and how can I serve someone else, right? If you focus on whatever you have, you'll have more. This is going to be a tweetable moment. What I'm saying is, whatever you focus on, that's what you will have more of. So if you focus on the negative, that's what you will have more of. If you focus on the positive and the greatness, that is what you will have more of. Let me prove it to you. So there's a scripture in the Bible says that whatsoever a man thinketh, that is who he is. That is what will come to him. That is what will vibrate to him. That is what he will radiate out. He or she will radiate out, right? So think about that. Focus on what you want to have, not focusing on what you don't already have. Because you already know you don't have that, right? So every single morning, I would like to challenge you to think about 5 things of what you are grateful for. And being able to expand your spiritual dimension in your brain, right? Being able to, I want to expand it, because sometimes as we go through this thing called life, we repeat the same thing every single day. We do the same thing, we repeat the same thing. And so I'm challenging you as I transition to learn also to say 2 things. If you can say these 2 things, I believe your life will be better. I'm sorry and thank you. If you can say, I'm sorry and thank you, I can guarantee your life is going to be better. Because as we spoke about last week, you have to be vulnerable. And sometimes for people saying I'm sorry is very vulnerable, right? Say I thank you. Say I appreciate you. That's what it said, right? It said that having a spirit of gratitude is showing appreciation. That's what it says. The other thing, beloved, we want you to start smiling more. Listen, smile, 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 right? You actually work more muscles frowning than you do smiling. Smiling, you work less muscles, right? So I just want you to be able to open up your heart, even with that prayer, because when people pray and they say, God, I thank you, that's a prayer right there. Hey, Joy, thank you for joining us, first time listener. I wish I had a little bell for our first time listeners. So as you go through everything that we go through, we want to encourage you to know that when you have a spirit of gratitude, when you're thankful for your life, and I know sometimes people might say, I don't have anything to be grateful for. Beloved, yes, you do. Be thankful because God marvelously created you to be on this earth today. Because if he had not, you would not be here. So you can be grateful for that. You can be grateful if you have children. I know our children don't always act right. You know, we didn't always act right. We didn't always act right either. But just say, God, I'm thank you for my children. Not, you don't have to say, God, thank you for the way my children are acting. Or thank you, Lord, for the way my children are treating me. You just say, I'm thankful. Believe me, I'm thankful. Right? And so that's one of the things I implore us to do. You know, it's easy. It's easy to win when everything is easy, right? So think about that. It's easy to win when everything in your life is going well. But what do you do? And are you still grateful when things are not going well in your life? Do you still have a spirit of gratitude when you lose your employment? Do you still have a spirit of gratitude? And this is a choice. Having a spirit of gratitude is really a choice. It's not a mandate. Nobody tells you that you have to do it. It is an absolute choice. But I would tell you this, is that when you have a spirit of gratitude, you also grow. The other thing that happens is that when you show your children the true divine gratitude spirit, they will start to do the same thing. I'm telling you what I know. See, a lot of things in life, and particularly for parents, moms, dads, and grandparents, and uncles and aunties, and I call them sister friends. Some things in life with our children, we don't sit down and directly teach them. But I once heard a wise man say this: some things in life are taught, but many things are caught.
Ooh, catch that.
Listen, y'all better get that one. I'm going to say that again for the people that came in late. Some things in life, as we work with our children, some things in life are taught. We as adults, we train our children to do certain things a certain way. But I would say this to you as an unction: be careful, beloved, because you are training your children every single day. I am breaking bread right now. Breaking bread right now. That's right, Mother Synagogue. I'm breaking bread. I done broke it. I done broke it to this. So everything that you do, just be very aware. So when you show gratitude, when you say to, and you can start at home. I always say this: listen, don't go out hugging somebody. I don't know where this is coming from, but somebody need this. Parents, don't go out hugging other folks' children if you ain't hugged your own child. Oh, y'all didn't like that one. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Please, husbands, Wives, don't go out hugging on other men and women, and you have not hugged or given gratitude to your own husband or wife.
True.
Right?
True.
Let's do better, because we can do better, and we are going to do better. So the other thing is that you grow strong through struggle. Just, hey, I said it, Tina. Tina said, you better say that. Listen.
Pamela said, ooh, we.
Pamela. Listen, we are living this life for real. We are living this life for real. And when I hear people say all the time, when you know better, you do better. That ain't always true, y'all, because that's some stuff people know better and they still do the same thing over and over again. Okay. So I'm gonna say something else. I don't know. When you know better, just go on and do it. Just do it. Just go ahead and do what is right. There's a book by the name of it's called Simple Abundance. It's by Sarah Ban Breathna. I say Breathna. Breathnac. Bernac. I read this book a long time ago, and she talks about how you live in a world of abundance, and it starts with being grateful. It starts with showing gratitude to our fellow men. It starts with, and if you think about it, like there's so many times in our life where we have an opportunity to say, I'm grateful. We know that we're grateful for God and who God is and what God does in our life. But sometimes it's okay to go to people that have had a great amount of influence in your life and say, I just want to say what? Thank you. Just say thank you. Thank you goes a long way. And when you know that you've done things or offended people, it's okay to go. It's more than okay. You should go and just say, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I hurt you. Because you open up the windows to opportunity for your life, right? That's what happens. You know, there are times where the Bible says, leave all your offering right there at the table. When you know that you have offended somebody, leave all that right there. Leave all of it right there and go back to that person and apologize and say that you are sorry. For you to be able to say, especially adults, children can say sorry, particularly young children. They can say, oh, I'm sorry, Mom. Oh, I'm sorry, Dad. For us, it's hard for us to say it. We act like we got a stuttering problem then. Now we stutter when we got to say, I'm sorry. All right. So I'm just going to recap and I'm just going to pull it over to Lady Queen. Think about 5 things to be grateful for. 5 things every morning and every night. 5 things that you actually can say, God, I'm so grateful for this, that. I'm not even going to tell you what to say because I believe our God, our source will tell you, right? I believe it that you will know exactly what you need to say. And a lot of times I'm not even going to say as well, where, you know, a lot of times people say, well, you know, you're saying this because, you know, you're not going through anything. Listen, some of y'all already know my story. We already know. You already know that's not true. But I just want to encourage you. I want to encourage you just to believe that even through the struggling times that you have in your life, that's when you really start having gratitude, right? That's when you really can defeat some stuff that's going on in your life. Don't concentrate on the negative. Concentrate on the positive things, the spiritual things that you desire in your life. Keep that in mind. And remember this, many things in our life are taught, but most things are caught. All right. Come on, Lady Sister Queen. Lady I Am.
Sister Queen, I think one of our sisters asked that you pin that in the comments. I don't know if you know how to do that, but I don't want to think we overlooked your comments. She asked, could we pin it in with that statement that you just said? I believe it was Sister Queen Tina.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So what I realized is how we have to look at everything. Everything's like in cycles or circuits, depending on what type of cycle or circuit you get into. You can get into a negative one and feel like you can't get out. Like I keep doing the same thing over and over again, and I'm trying to figure out why I'm not getting a different result. that's actually the definition of insanity. Whenever you keep doing the same thing over and over again, believing that something, different is going to come out of that same thing that you keep doing. But what I realized is, just like we were created from the dust, right? From the dust of the earth. And then whenever we go through life, and then God says it's time for our spirits to go back home, we go back to that dust. Everything's in cycles. Even grass, when it dies, it grows, it dies, everything's in cycles. So even with Sister Queen, when she was talking about being thankful and showing gratitude, and also going back, whether it be to say, hey, look, I'm sorry, this is something that I feel I might have offended you with, to showing gratitude, and then you're able to receive. When you show gratitude, you're able to receive. It's a cycle. You can't have one without the other. It just like, whenever something's born, it one day has to die. It's a cycle. It's inevitable. We can't expect one without the other. So I think in order for us to learn how to even receive the abundance, that we have to learn how to be grateful for the things that we have. And a scripture in Philippians chapter 4, Paul is talking, and he says, listen, I know what it's like to be in need, and I know what it's like to have a lot. And see, sometimes when we have a lot, everything's going good, everything's well. But then when we become in need, we're like, you know what? I'm seeing everything else around me. And it's all about perception. That's what, we've been talking about. It's all about the way you see things. It wasn't that Paul, because he was talking to the Corinthian church, it wasn't that, situations that changed, because he was telling, look, every time you have the opportunity to give, you do. But he says, look, I know he said, I'm okay with this because I know what it's like to be in need and to have. And once you realize, what, God, whenever you do this type of thing in me, whenever you do this in me, and whatever you're doing in my life, I know you have everything in your control. So if it's a season of lack, if it's a season of being in a famine, or a season of abundance where I have the fat calves and stuff, whatever type of season I am, I realize that you're still in control. And because you're in control, you got me. We have to understand, what, God, you have me, and we can't be afraid. See, unfortunately, society has taught even our children, and I try to make sure that I don't do this with my children. Society has taught almost a sense of entitlement. Like, I deserve this, and when you feel like you deserve something, that someone has to give you something, you lose the spirit of gratitude. You end up kind of losing the spirit of gratitude because you feel like you deserve something. When God is gracious and he's so loving and kind, and his mercy allows us to have things. He says, listen, I want you to have these things because I love you. Not that he owes us, because actually we owe him. We owe him because of what he gave his one and only son, right? So we owe him. But when you come to the point where saying, you know what, God, you don't even have to do this for me, but because your grace and your mercy that you give me daily, and you allow me to have this abundance, you allow me to flourish in whatever skill that I'm in, you allow all of these things for me. So I want to show gratitude to you because you give it to me. Then see, the more we show gratitude to God, the more he gives us. Because he's like, you know what? That's my daughter. That's my son right there. Every time I bless them with the smallest things, and they're always so grateful. I want you to think about if you had a child, right? And our children, if you give them a piece of candy and they just, they're just so excited, they act like you gave them the world, or you give them something small like a coin, you give them something small, but they act like you gave them the world. You want to give to them more and more because it excites you. It makes you happy because they're happy, because you know what? I bless them and I don't care what it is. I remember one time I was watching this video, and there was a mother and son, and you can tell mom was kind of struggling financially. And she would tell her son, I want to get you stuff. And he knew he was a little older, maybe 11, 12 years old. And he says, Mom, I understand, you don't have to give. And it might have been something that they were putting on, but it touched me. But he was like, I know. And so she gave him a cutting board at 11. And this little boy cried so much and hugged this cutting board like she had just gave him the world. And I was like, man, like that touched my heart. I'm like, man, I take so much stuff for granted. and don't appreciate even the small things, even because I realized that, okay, we complain about we want the designer shoes or designer this. Someone doesn't even have feet to put the shoes on. Someone doesn't even have legs to be able to stand, and so we have to ask ourselves, are we showing more of the gratitude or more of the entitlement? Are we showing more gratitude so we can receive exactly what God intended for us to have? Because the more I show him how grateful I am, it also keeps me humble. You see how all of these things are connected? When I tell you all of them are connected, and he wants to release things to you, he wants to release things to us, but in order to release these things to us, they are conditional. Understand, they are conditional. Just like he says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, pray, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, then I'll heal their land. There are some things that are conditional. His love is not, thank God, his love is not, but there's some things are conditional. And I want you to understand, look, if you want the abundance, if you want what God has for you, you release gratitude first, and then you receive gratitude first. And then even gratitude in the smallest things. God, I thank you that I opened my eyes this morning. God, I thank you that you've allowed my children to open their eyes. God, I thank you that, Father, I might not have a new outfit, but guess what, God? You know what? I have something to wear. Father, I thank you because someone is sleeping under a bridge and the bugs are biting them. And Father, I complain because I'm hot in my house. And Father, forgive me because I want to show as much gratitude to say, God, I don't deserve this in myself, but because of you that's in me, you've made me now an heir to the throne. You make me an heir to exactly what you have to give to me. And so it's a cycle, it's a circuit. You have to complete it. You can't, I want you to think about that too. Whenever, let's just say we have a train going, right? Like a train on a track. You have a train going on the track. If one of those things hesitates, it messes up everything else behind it. And that's what we're doing in our life. Even when God says, look, I want to bless you, but this is the way, what I want you to do to get the blessing, because it doesn't make sense here. And we know God told it to us here, but it doesn't make sense here. We hesitate. And guess what? When we hesitate, it stumbles everything else behind us. And he's like, look, this was supposed to be a flow to you. And me and my brother at one time had talked about this. This is supposed to be a flow to you. Don't hesitate when it comes to the things of God. If he tells you, go this way, go talk, say this, move this way, dive this way. Father, I don't understand why I'm moving this way, God, but you told me to. I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not putting my own thoughts in it. Because see, putting my own ways and my own thoughts in it, you know what that does? That makes it carnal again. That makes it human instinct again. And we're supposed to be thinking spiritually because we have this kingdom mindset. Let the mind that's in Christ Jesus also be in me. So we have this kingdom mindset. So we can no longer hesitate on the things, because when we hesitate on what God tells us to do, it makes everything behind it. And he's like, look, I got so much in store for you coming up. And don't make it hesitate, because guess what? You might knock it off track. And you're like, God, you told me I had the promised land, and all I got to do is see a little bit of it, and I didn't get to enter. And what happened when they did not get to enter that promised land is because they were murmuring and complaining. That's the opposite of gratitude, isn't it? When you complain. Mm-hmm. So guess what? The complaining and the murmuring and complaining can actually keep you from what God wants to release to you. Mm-hmm. That's why gratitude and releasing, it goes hand in hand. It's a cycle. You can't have one without the other. So it's important that we release the gratitude and let me tell you that's an awesome idea, because I've written it down. It's not something I do daily. I mean, I always say it out of my mouth, but I think it's so amazing when Sister Queen was talking about doing the gratitude journals, because you're writing these things down and it makes you think. It makes you think of those things. So when you think of these things, you're, like she said, your body starts to look for those things that you're thinking of during the day. It's that reticular activation system, and that word is for my scientists. The reticular activation system, that Miss Robin talks about whenever she says, listen, you know how you get a car and you've never seen these cars on the road, but after you get it, you start seeing them all over? It's because the body wants to agree with itself. I want to agree with me. You want to agree with you. So once you start saying, you know what, that's something I can be grateful about. your body starts looking for those things, and you're like, man, I'm really more blessed than I thought. I'm really more blessed than I thought. God, I thank you, because you know what? My gas tank might not be full, but guess what? I got a quarter of a tank, God. I can make it to the store and back. You know, just even the little things. You know, God, I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful that, God, I have a fork I can eat with. And yes, I do everything. I don't care. God, I'm grateful that I had toothpaste this morning, Paula. I'm grateful because let me tell you, he's so gracious. He's so giving. And all you have to do is release the spirit of gratitude, and it's a cycle. So it's going to bounce back. You know how that the wave goes out, and then the tide comes back in. You send those words out of gratitude, it's coming back to you. It's coming back to you. So no longer can I send out complaints of, you know what, I'm always going through this and I'm tired of going through this. No longer can I send that out, because I'm sending out those negative vibes, those negative things out. That's what my body's going to look for, because it wants to agree with itself. If I say, you know what, you're always cutting up. And I had to catch myself with one of my sons, because it was like every single time he had an opportunity to find the negative, I was pointing out, you're always looking at it that way. But yet I'm doing the same thing he's doing, just in a different form. And so we have to, as Sister Queen said, we got to be the change we want to see. And say, you know what, when I saw something positive, you know what, Damona, I know this year the first one to do this. You know, the first one to do that. And you know what? He started coming up to me saying, Mom, you saw I did this? You know, so he was looking for ways to do great things.
Yeah.
That's how we as children of God do. You know, we start pouring it out, and God is like, I see you, daughter. Guess what? I just bless you. Then we come back, Father, I thank you again, because I see this. I see that. We do the same exact thing. So we have to learn as kingdom-minded people. As kingdom-minded people, we have to learn, you know what? And it takes practice, believe me. It'll start coming out, and then you'll catch yourself after you say it. Then after a while, you'll catch yourself while you're saying it. Then after a while, you'll catch yourself before you say it, before you complain. It's a process. And don't get frustrated with the process, because God has you on that potter's wheel we were talking about last week, and he's working it out. You just have to stay along with the process and, you know what, God, you know, I did slip up again, but I want to show you some gratitude, and watch him work it out. You know, watch the way he does it in your life. So remember that. Send out gratitude and watch what comes back towards you. He wants to release some things towards you, and all you have to do is send out the gratitude. And that's the word of God. I'm gonna hand it back to you, Sister Queen.
Thank you, Sister Queen. I didn't bent down and I'm just listening like I'm the student today. I'm just like,
we all do it forever.
Forever the student.
Listen, I thank God that he connected me with a great woman of God like Antoinette Marie, like a great brother King, like man of God, like brother King Anthony, and then even like Sister Queens on here. And I don't want to start naming names because I don't want to forget nobody, because every single one of you guys, even the ones I've just met, y'all mean so much. I can't express it enough. Y'all mean so much to us, you know, because we encourage ourselves, and this is lessons for us too, messages for us too. And just hearing it, you know, begins to remind us of what God wants to do for us. And we want to show you through how we live our lives.
I think that's so powerful. I just, somebody just sent me a message in Messenger and said, how do I know if I have a spirit of gratitude, and what's the opposite? The opposite of gratitude is basically being in disregard, like
being appreciative,
unappreciative, you know, being.
I'm sorry. I think that complaining, you know, that complaining thing, you know, that it happens a lot. We don't realize how much we complain. And when we complain, we're looking at all those negative things that's in our lives, right? We're looking at all those negative aspects of, you know, what's going on in your life if you complain. But if you learn, you know what, I'm not going to complain. I do see this. I'm not ignorant to what's going on in my life. I'm not ignorant to what's happening in my life, but I realize that it could be a lot worse. So I'm going to say, God, I'm grateful. It's not that you're blind to things, because we'd be acting crazy, you know, or if we say, oh, just pretend it's not there. No, you acknowledge the fact that you see what's going on in your life, And because when you acknowledge that you see what's going on in your life, you know what you do? You want to change it. So guess what happens? You want to change your mind, and you start looking for ways to be able to do that. You start looking for those ways to be able to do that. So acknowledge the fact that it's there. See, as far as you, who you are, acknowledge it. You know what, God, this is here and this is the way I'm feeling, but I thank you anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you anyway. Because David said that. He said, I thank God for my transgress. What did he say? My troubles and my transgression. Who wants to thank God for troubles? I'm like, wait, God, I don't know. You kind of look at that like, why would I thank God for stuff that I'm going through? But guess what? Going through this storm, it helps you to grow. So
Yes.
that's what you have to look at. You have to, God, I thank you because I'm going to grow now.
Yeah.
So instead of looking at what I'm seeing in the middle of the storm, no, what's the end process? That's what I want to be grateful for, that end process. So if it takes this right here to get to the end process, God, I'm grateful. And so I think that's what it is, not murmuring and complaining. And you'll learn it's a process. You'll start to, and then you'll catch yourself after you did it. You know what? I'm murmuring and complained again about what wasn't going right in my life. I murmured and complained about what wasn't happening as soon as I thought it. And then you find yourself, like I said, you'll catch yourself afterwards. Then you'll catch yourself in the middle of it. Then you'll catch yourself before you even say it. So it's a process. So just trust the process, because just like the rest of us, we're learning daily. Man, every day is a learning day. You learn daily.
Absolutely, every single day. And just being very intentional is what my sister is saying. You have to be very intentional. You have to slow down. When I used to stutter so much as a child, my family would say, slow down.
I still do.
So even with that, think about every single day that you go through life. Just slow down. Think about what you're getting ready to utter out of your mouth. Is it uplifting somebody or is it tearing somebody down, right? And to answer that question, my sister, Lady Queen, just already answered. When you disregard things, and sometimes we have this attitude of, I deserve this. I deserve this because I worked hard for this. And so it's very difficult to have a spirit of gratitude when you are puffed up, when you are haughty, when you feel as though you have an elitist spirit. It's hard to have a spirit of gratitude when you in your core, when you're feeling that way. You have to humble yourself to realize whatever you have, you didn't get that by osmosis. Whatever you have, it has come from a great supreme God. And so when you complain, you stay the same. You can write that in the comments. If we continue to complain, we will always stay the same. And so we're here to say to you to elevate yourself, elevate your spirit, elevate your conscious, elevate your mindset, elevate yourself as you do things physically. As you go through your life, always know that your children are there, that they're listening, and you are supposed to be the image of this fantastic, marvelous God. So remember that as you go through life, you don't have to answer somebody so quick sometimes. Sometimes we just do stuff really, really quick. Hey, Shay, sometimes we do things very, very quickly. And God a lot of times is saying, slow down. Just slow down a little bit. Think about what you're saying. Stop complaining. Stop complaining about everything. You complain, oh, wow, you wake up in the morning, oh, it's too sunny outside. Who's complaining about it's too sunny outside? So we want to be really intentional and having this day of gratitude, as you go to sleep today, get you a journal. If you don't have it today, you get you one for tomorrow, and just write down 5 things when you go to sleep. It releases all those things that are in your brain so that you can be calm and you can have that REM, that REM sleep, right? That you'll be able to relax more. And then when you wake up in the morning, I personally believe that God speaks to us at night. He speaks to us at night because many times we're not able, we don't allow God to speak to us. We don't want to hear him because we're doing so much. We like, there's a passage in the Bible where it says that, I think it was Margaret, or where she was just busy. We just busy. Hey, Kia, we're just so busy doing a lot of stuff. And then when you think about it, when you finally are able to rest, to sit back, and you're like, what did I accomplish today? And just remember, every place you go, God is with you. Every place that you go, God is with you. And so we just want to thank every single person that's on here, that you joined us today. We want to encourage you to have that spirit of gratitude each and every single day. We will not complain. I know there's a song that says, I told y'all I'm not no psalmist, but it says, I won't complain. We're not going to complain. We hear things on the news about people not having this, or it's always something, but we are bridging the nations. So we're showing individuals, we're showing nations the godliness that dwells within us every single day. We're showing the nations how to love one another, how to show kindness, how to show, and have peace and joy and abundance in our lives. We're not like everybody. We're not doing the exact thing that everybody else is doing. I really truly believe that God is always searching for a remnant in this earth that he can use and utilize to bring forth his kingdom. His kingdom, y'all. This is not about religion, beloved. It really is about having the kingdom and having kingdom principles. We are ambassadors of God. That's what we are. Until we believe that and start to be that way, not act, but to be that way, then there's always going to be something we feel in our spirit that is missing, and it's already in you. I know our King brother did not come up on here. You are supposed to be on holiday. You're supposed to be on vacay. How are you, beloved?
But you know what I realized too, sis, before we get off of here, we have to make sure, and I can hear, people that want to know God more. I don't do religion either. I am not a religious person. Religion is man-made. I have a relationship with God. And I know my sister Queen and my brother King can say the same thing. Religion is definitely man-made. But what we have to realize is, in that 3 o'clock hour, that, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, when you can't go to sleep, just begin to talk to God. Because, that's the time that Jesus would go and pray in the mountains, is around those hours. So you're like, man, I don't know why I couldn't sleep. And he just wants to talk to you because he wants to get closer to you. So you can have that relationship where he can just speak into your ear and you're like, that was God. I know that who that was. So definitely this week, if you're waking up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, say, okay, God, I hear you. Be like Samuel. I'm here. I hear you. So definitely.
And have that journal. This is one of the things for myself. I'm a dreamer. And I'm going to tell you, there's not a day that I go to sleep that I don't have my journal. And I always say you can have 2 separate ones. But I'm telling you, when the Spirit of God speaks to you, and sometimes he will wake you up out of your sleep, because that is when your brain, that's when you're ready. That's when, because people get upset, like, you woke me up out my sleep, or how dare you? And God, like, yeah, I had to, because this is so important. So this is real business. So I say we're scribers. We scribe, we write those things down. And just like Sister Queen said, Lady Queen said, God speaks to us in whispers. He don't bash us over the head. We said at the beginning, as we started doing Bridge of the Nations in the book of Psalms 23, he's so gentle with us. So when you ever have that time in your life where you're just saying, you know what, God, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing, listen. Believe me, God speaks to you more than what you believe, more than what you will give him attention to. And I just want to say, on behalf of Bridging the Nations, Lady Queen I Am, and our hard-headed brother, Anthony Williams, we love you.
That might be my fault. I tagged him. That might have been.
Yeah.
I tagged him in his life.
It's okay. That we're here to support you. We're here to help you transition, whatever that looks like to you, whatever that looks like to you. And so if you are having hard times today, we spoke about gratitude because we just kind of wanted to transition a little bit. We know we've been doing this, every single week for about, I don't know, over a month now. Yeah, over a month now. And so we just wanted to kind of transition it a little bit. And so just being very open and having good communication. If there's something that you would like for us to speak about, a certain topic, whether it's about relationships, whether it's about rearing children, whether it's about having a relationship with your spouse, whether it's about, the hard stuff, divorce, separation, whatever it's about, losing your job, whatever it's about, we understand. I don't think there's anything that I have mentioned that neither three of us or one of us three have not already have gone through that experience, right? And so that's what we're here to do. And we're here to do it and to show you in a godly and a spiritual manner where you can have something to go back to. You can have something to go back to. So I know Sister Queen gave a scripture, and I just wanted to give y'all this. 1 Chronicles 16:34, and it talks about being grateful and how you rejoice. Psalms 9:1 talks about the same exact thing. And so we want to encourage you today to be grateful, to think about all the greatness that has already come into your life, to think about, your own children that you have, how great of a blessing that is. I know women right now that would love to have children. Listen, be grateful. I will always say this too. The coin is in the fish's mouth. If anybody knows what that means, you let us know in the comment section. The coin is in the fish's mouth. And so as we leave you on today, we just want to say, be grateful. Every single thing in your life. Every single thing in your life. I'm grateful too. Margaret Willis, I'm grateful. So as we leave off here, y'all place in the comments things that you're grateful for. We're going to blow this whole comment stream. We're going to blow that up. Can you please repeat the scriptures? I sure can. Joy, I gave you 1 Chronicles 16:34. Lady Queen, will you put that in the comment section for 1 Chronicles 16:34? And then I gave Psalms, the 9th chapter, the 1st verse. That's how grateful we are. And if you can't sing, thank you, William Anthony. Then just sing. If you can't sing. If you can't sing, just hum. If you can't hum, just raise your hand. If you can't raise your hand, just smile. Right? That's what we're doing. We are so grateful. We are so grateful for every single thing that has transpired in our life. That's what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for life. When I tell you, November 2013, when my doctor came up to me and said, you have a brain aneurysm, baby, there's people ask me, why are you so loud? Why you act so? Listen, this is the reason why I act the way I am. This is who I am. This is the reason. When they take you in the back and say, listen, if you got a clergyman, they say clergyman person, because we don't know if she gonna make it. Baby, there is nothing. There will never be a day in my life that I will not give God praise. There's never will be a day that you should not give God praise for your life. Because I'm going to say just what Celie said as she was leaving Mr. Property. I'm here. I may be a lot of things. I may be a lot of things, child. But let me tell you this. I'm grateful, and I'm here, and I ain't going nowhere until God say it's time. And it is not time for Antoinette Marie to do nothing but do what God has said.
I'm sorry. Repeat those scriptures for me just to make sure I have them right.
Sure. First
Chronicles.
Chronicles, 16th chapter, 34th verse. And then Psalms, the 9th chapter, the first verse. I told y'all I have problems with ours.
There we go. There we go. You said silly.
So be grateful today.
Yes.
Be grateful. Listen, when they told you you weren't gonna be nothing, you weren't gonna succeed, you look like this, you ain't gonna be nothing but whatever your mama was, nothing but your daddy was, listen, put your hand up, say,
I'm
grateful. I may be a lot of things. Don't get me to tell you. I may be a lot of things. When I was young, they said you was too dark. Oh, you was too black. You was too this. Your hair was too wavy. Yeah. You got Native American. Listen, but I'm here.
Come on.
But I'm here. But I'm here. And who's gonna check God? Ain't nobody gonna check him. Listen, when you know you've gone through things in your life, listen, sometimes you just got to say, listen, right here. But I'm grateful. I may not be what I need to be. I may not be every single thing that you want me to be. But I am sure not where I used to be. And for that, I am grateful. I am grateful that God has given me another day to talk to you, Pamela, to talk to you, Anthony, to talk to you, Joy, to talk to you, Lady Queen. Come on. So that's why I am the way that I am. That's why when they say you have hyperactive thyroidism and you've gone through Graves' disease and we don't know you can make it, baby, you ask me why I say, and who's going to check me but God? That's why I am how I am. Who's going to check me but God? Because God gave me this life. And so from this day to the end of my life, you may not like it, you may not understand me, but I love you. I will continue to go in the direction God, Most High, my source, has told me to go. And I'm so grateful. Are the issues of my heart. And we are is faithfulness. Thank you, Ryan. You're right, because you are better than that. You are so better than that. Right here.
I'm grateful for all of you guys. I'm grateful. Look, she got me. I'm like Jesus. I'm like prostrate on the ground because I'm like Jesus. Come on, God.
Yes.
He's been good.
He's been doing it.
Man.
Listen, we're gonna have our own salute to who God is.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you tonight for joining us, for being a part of Bridging the Nations. And we want, if there's a subject that you would want us to cover, please let us know. Yeah. Share this video as many times as you would like. Invite someone on for next week. We will be here next week, Thursday, but we're going to be here at 6:30. We're going to start at 6:30 next week. We just need a little bit more time to transition our families, and we know that you will honor that and respect that. And so we'll have our sister Queen will be doing like a little snippet, just changing our time to 6:30. And so come on in, get your pen, your paper, and cook dinner, right? And or go out and bring your food in. So we just want to encourage you. Lady Queen, you have anything else?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
All right. Well, we want to say we love you. We hope and pray. We hope and pray that you have an excellent, fantastic evening. And hug on your spouse, hug on your husband or your wife. Let them know that you love them. And if you have children, aunts, children, nieces, and nephews, hug on them. Let them know that they are important to you, and your children, let them know that they are extremely important to you and they are a part of your life source. We hope that you have a fantastic night. This is Antoinette Marie Speaks and
Lady Queen I Am.
Lady Queen I Am. We will see you on to no, not tomorrow. We will, we will see you next week. Bye.